Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream of unlocking the TRON Bike on Zwift. Now this is something that I have been looking forward to doing for 2 years at this point. It was 2 years ago tonight, the 28th of December 2021, that I first did my first ride on Zwift. I took my old Kurt Kinetic fluid trainer, for those of you that remember those. So I purchased that back in I think 2000, and took that, hooked it up to Zwift, put a Wahoo cadence sensor on the bike, and did like I think 3 miles. And since then, I've been riding Zwift fairly consistently over the last couple years, more so here in the last few months than the previous months before that. But I just realized last week, as I was doing my ramp test, which the video posted a couple days ago, so check that out, it's the most recent video posted. I just realized that I'm really close to getting that TRON bike, and wouldn't it be cool to do a live stream of me getting the TRON bike while climbing up one of the most iconic climbs in real life as well as in Zwift, which is the Alpe d'Huez, which in Zwift it's called Alpe du Zwift. It's about a 3,400 feet of climbing, and it's kind of a classic climb, like I said, in the real world and in Zwift. So I'm going to do that here for all hour and a half or whatever it might take me, including the whole route. So as we're going, I should be able to talk. I'm not going to go for a super fast PR. I think I can get a PR on this climb, because the last time I really pushed it up this climb was a couple years ago. So I think I'm a little fitter now. I've got a little bit better sense of pacing on Zwift. So that's going to be the goal. And along the way, just have a conversation. If there's anybody in the chat that wants to pop up any messages or chat, maybe ask me some questions. If not, I'm just going to talk. And what I'll talk about is kind of what's been going on in 2023. We're just a few days away from 2024. And so, kind of what went good, what went bad, what 2023 ended up like, and what am I looking forward to in 2024 from a health span perspective. What am I looking to do to improve, to get better? What would I like to fix compared to what happened in 2023, that type of thing. Also talk a little bit about training philosophy and that type of stuff. So I'm going to get going on this and get this going. But before I jump into doing the ride, for those of you that are on Zwift, you know that you earn drops, basically drops of sweat for every kilometer that you do, that type of thing. And you can spend those drops in the drop shop. And I just realized that I've got in game, my my frame is okay. I've got a pretty good set of wheels. I've got a really fast set of wheels that I managed to purchase last year before they raised the level requirement. Now it's level 40. I think at the time it was level 20, but they bumped it up to level 40. So I've got a really fast set of wheels, but the frame I have could be a little lighter for climbing uphill. So I'm going to go, for those of you that are familiar, before we get going here, I'm going to go into the drop shop. And you can see in the upper right-hand corner there, I've got 3,097,885 drops to spend. Well, I'm going to pick a frame that I just got to the level that required me to allow me to do this maybe a week or so ago. And the frame, based off of testing that Zwift Insider has done, the frame that they think is the fastest frame out there for climbing outside of a specialized frame is one by Scott, and it's here in the frame shop. And I gotta use the mouse to get this here. It's going to be this one here. There it is. the Scott, and I think it's the Addict RC. So you see they're highlighted in blue. It's the Addict RC, and that is, there we go. That is the lightest, second lightest frame out there that I can, well, it's the lightest frame I can purchase at this point for climbing. It's not the most aero, but it's the lightest. And based on the testing they've done, this should give me a 17-second advantage on the climb. So for what it's worth, I've got the drops to spend. I'm going to go ahead and purchase this bad boy. Only 660,000 drops, but we're going to hit the go button there, and that is that's going to be mine. I'm going to confirm. Bang! So there, my balance goes down. I can build back my my account by doing some more miles on Zwift, which I fully plan to do. So let's go ahead and get that done. Let's go and make sure I've got everything picked properly. So now I can go to the frame and do that. Addict RC, the wheels on there, the DT Swiss, are the second fastest or third fastest wheels. So for what that's worth, that should get me where I need to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and get out of this, and let's get back to the fun here, and go back and pick the course that we're going to do today. And the course is, of course, the Road to the Sky. It is 11.1 miles. It's about a 3-mile lead-in, and then the climb itself of Alpe du Zwift is, I think, 8 miles. And the total gain you see there is 3,454 feet, and I think I have 3,345 feet or so to go before I reach the achievement of getting the TRON Bike, which I will show you once we get started here on what that is. So I'm going to go ahead and start this ride, and loading Watopia. Okay, so now there we are, getting ready to start the ride. Let me go back, and I'm going to show you the challenge, because this is one of the things that you have to elect when you start Zwift. If you wanted to get this climbing challenge, which is the one it's called the Everest challenge, and you've got to climb 50,000 meters. So that equates to 164,042 feet. And when you get to that, you get the TRON Bike. So if anybody's not familiar with Zwift, the TRON Bike are those glowy bikes that you see riding around on Zwift. And I've been plugging away. I enjoy climbing and that type of thing. So it's, I haven't accumulated a score as fast as some people, but yeah, I consistently worked on trying to gain altitude as I was riding. So it's 164,042. I've done 167.28. So you add 3,400 feet. I'll be, I should be unlocking the TRON Bike somewhere in the last kilometer or so of Alpe du Zwift. So let's go ahead and get this thing going, because I'm going to be on the road a while here. If anybody, and you want to leave some comments, feel free to do that. And we are off. There we go. Pedaling along. And as we get going, a couple of things. Like I said, I started Zwift on December 28th, 2021. So 2 years ago today, I started Zwift, and since then I've used it off and on, more consistently in the winter. In 2022, I spent a fair amount of time running. 2022 was also the year I got my first, I guess, major injury. I had a hip adductor strain. So inside here on the right hip, kind of muscle goes from the hip down in, kind of a persistent strain that I think was due to probably just not warming up enough, and running aggravated it. So took some time off for rehab and that type of thing, and that's started doing Zwift quite a bit. And that healed, and then I ran, trained for the Peachtree in July of 2022. Did a pretty good time there, and ran through again, and then picked up Zwift again in the fall of 22 into the first part of 2023. Started getting away from Zwift, got back into training for running, and now I'm back in the fall, and really enjoying it as I focus more on really focusing on the longevity aspect, training for that centenarian decathlon or the marginal decade, whatever it is. I've come to the conclusion that that's going to be my goal. I'll compete if I can run and train for 10Ks and that type of stuff, I will. But my main goal is to really focus on 3 components of aerobic capacity. So doing those zone 2, building that wide pyramid base, and then building a high pyramid by doing VO2 max. So those last couple of videos I've done about increasing my VO2 max has been the goal there. So really focusing on that, and to do a good amount of zone 2 work, one of the best tools to do that is something like a bike. So whether you can be outside on a consistent road or inside on a trainer using something like Zwift or something, is a great way to do it for a couple of reasons. One, it's virtually zero impact, right? You're not pounding your joints like you are with running. And weight-bearing exercise like running, I think, is important, but to do a few hours of that a week, especially as we get older, it can invite more injuries than doing something like cycling. So indoor cycling and rowing. I've got the rowing machine over here to the side, Concept 2 rower. Those can be my primary aerobic base building modes. I think using Zwift is going to be the primary one, rowing secondary, and then to kind of do those VO2 max, those high intensity workouts. You can do it definitely on a bike very easily. You do some very tough workouts in Zwift and anywhere else to do that, but running can be used for that as well. So I'll probably mix it up a little bit, but I really see indoor cycling or rowing to be my primary aerobic mode, I guess, going forward. And then added to that, regular strength training and mobility training. So mobility is different than strength. Mobility is kind of range of motion of the body, the hips, the knees, the ankles, shoulders, joint mobility, flexibility, and then strength. So things like resistance training, bench press, overhead press, curls, chin-ups, pull-ups, deadlifts, fat bar deadlifts, squats, Bulgarian split squats, all kinds of things that work the major muscle groups. So the glutes, the quads, the chest, the shoulders, the back. Do that on a consistent basis. Right now I'm doing 2 to 3 days a week of that. In addition to doing aerobic 3 to 5 days a week, and then along on those days is doing mobility, balance training, and also pliability, flexibility. So things like yoga, that type of thing, to stay flexible. Tie all that together, and it's a pretty complete pretty complete program, which that's my goal. I'm 59 now. I'd like to make it another at least 30 years. Give me to my 90s. That's the goal, and I want to be active as far into life as possible. So that's why I'm doing this, and that's why I've got Life Maximus channel to kind of just share that with everybody out there. Hopefully provide some resources, some motivation, those type of things to help you in your own journey, wherever you are in life and whatever your goals are. Anything I can do to kind of help or motivate or share with you what's working or not working for me is the goal. So I'm going to turn on my fan here. Things are getting a little warm. I think the mic does a pretty good job of blocking the station here. You're watching and the fan is noise. Go ahead and drop a comment, let me know. But one thing about riding indoors is you got to make your own wind. You're not running, you're not moving, so you got to generate your own airflow, and that can be one of the things that can really impact the quality of your workout. You want to make sure you're getting enough air moving over your body to keep you cool. So got to use that fan. But here we are. This is the lead-in portion to Alpe du Zwift, the climb itself. This is the road to the sky route. I think the lead-in is about 3.5 miles. We're going through the jungle in Watopia. And yep, there we go. A couple of things that I've done in the last couple months that have really improved or upped my enjoyment of Zwift. First thing is that just 2 months ago, Zwift released an upgrade to their, I think it was the Zwift Hub, was a trainer that they released last year, which was not their own. It was co-branded with Jet Black, I think was the manufacturer. So a smart trainer, an entry-level smart trainer. And I didn't pay too much attention to it at the time because I already had a smart trainer that I bought a couple years ago. I still have it. But this year, they came out with the Zwift Hub 1. And basically the same trainer, but they've upgraded the firmware to allow for virtual shifting. And the main thing about that is you don't have to put an actual cassette on the rear of the trainer. It just has one gear, one cog in the back. You just hook your bike up to that. Less wear and tear on the drivetrain of your bike, less shifting, mechanical shifting. Instead, you use buttons that change the shifting virtually. They call it virtual shifting. And it's basically just modulating the resistance that the trainer's providing. And the big advantage to that is if you have more than one person in the household that wants to use Zwift. Oh, we're leaving the jungle now, getting close to the Alp here. But the big advantage and the reason I purchased it is just the last month or so, my wife had expressed interest in wanting to do Zwift as well. And I was thinking, well, you can do that. I just have to switch bikes on the regular trainer that we had and change the cassettes. Kind of a pain. Well, the Zwift Hub 1 eliminates that. It takes all of about 2 minutes. I just unhook the quick release, take my bike off, put her bike on, hook it up, and we are good to go. So fantastic upgrade. A little pricey, not bad. I mean, for smart trainers at the low end, it was $599, I think, but it includes 1 year of Zwift. And here's the start of Alpe du Zwift. Speaking of, all right. So, so it's something to think about. It includes 1 year of Zwift membership in that price. So that's a pretty good deal. The other thing that I purchased, we're going up the first section here. I'm going to ease into it a little bit. The other thing I purchased was the Zwift Play. And you can't see it, but they are basically video game controllers that attach to the bike. And with it, I can do all the virtual shifting for the Zwift Hub. I can also do neat things like ride-on bomb. And anybody that's around me that I haven't given a ride-on to will automatically give ride-ons to. But it also allows you to navigate the game from your bike, mostly. So you don't have to use a mouse or anything like that. Those are the two things. All right, so we're in the meat. Just starting the climb. 21 switchbacks, and each one, as it ticks off, you go through each one. Drop down the upper right corner of the screen there. You see that 12%. That's the current incline. The trainer adjusts. So a lot more effort. I'm going to try to keep my power somewhere, average power for the climb, somewhere between 175 and 200. We'll see. I don't want this to be totally blow up ride, but I like to do pretty good on it. So let's see. There's a ride on. So I just push a button on this Zwift Play controller, and that guy hadn't given a ride on to before. It gives him one. It's kind of a little way to go, buddy type thing. Little interactivity. So back to the ride. I am right now, you see, about 190 watts, heart rate 130. My zone 2 heart rate is somewhere between 120 and 130 depending on the day. Power, consistent power that equates to that for me is maybe 170, 175 maybe, something like that. So I'm going to try to keep it zone 2, zone 3. That guy right on. There we go. And see what happens. My PR for Alpe du Zwift is 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 55 seconds, which I did, I think the second time I rode up this was January 2022. And I've done it a couple more times since then, but at a slower pace is kind of a part of a workout. So we'll see what I do here today. I've got 7.3 miles to the top. I don't have a 90-day PR because last time I did Alpe du Zwift was maybe July or August this year. Like I said, it was part of a workout at that point, so it wasn't a, no, it was more than 90 days ago, so that's why it's not showing up, but my all-time PR is 107.50, something like that. I think I'm fit enough to do better than that. If I really push it, I think I might still be able to beat it today. We'll see. The goal is to get the TRON Bike, which if I complete the climb, I should get the bike. So I think the number you want to look for is in the upper center there, that heads up unit. You see next to the ET, you see that blue 330 feet going up. We want that to be about 3,300, 3,400 feet should be where I get the TRON bike. So that's the goal. See what I can do here. Plenty of water. I also have my secret weapon, a Yeti cooler or mug filled with chocolate milk. And interesting. I've been a endurance athlete, runner, I don't know, for 40 years, ever since high school. And over the years, sports nutrition has changed dramatically. Now you've got drinks for pre-workout, post-workout, before you go to bed the night before the workout, all this stuff. Sports nutrition has definitely advanced. But I'll tell you, one of the best recovery or in a long run or long effort, one of the best things I've found is low-fat chocolate milk. This is the 1% fat, low-fat chocolate milk from Publix supermarkets, which is big here in the Southeast. But the nice thing about it, obviously it's got added sugar, but it is just straight sugar. They don't use high fructose corn syrup or anything like that. So from a purity of ingredients, it's about as good as you're going to get for chocolate milk. But the nice thing about it is each cup of this chocolate milk has about 170 calories, about 30 grams of carb, 8 grams of protein, and about 3 grams of fat. And if you look at some of the super high priced sports nutrition drinks that are $3-4 a serving, profile almost matches exactly the chocolate milk that's in here. And this quart of chocolate milk is $2.50. So I've got 2 cups in there. So I'll drink some during, and then the rest right after the ride to kind of refuel a little bit. But all right, heart rate about 130. That's kind of the range. I like to keep it in that range. I think I'm definitely more cycling fit now than I was in January 2022. I was probably more aerobically fit in January 2022 because 2 months prior to that, I ran what I'll call the modern era PR in a half marathon, which was a Thanksgiving Day marathon 2021 here in Atlanta. I think I ran 130, 133, 40 or whatever works, whatever 7-11 a mile works out to for a half marathon. I think that might have been aerobic fitness higher than bike fitness, but I've been riding quite a bit more. So you're using different muscles, riding versus running, and it takes a lot to get the body used to that. But I think I'm kind of in that mode now, so we'll see. But Zwift is, if you're looking to do indoor cycling, indoor training, there's a lot of apps out there. I kind of came up on Zwift after doing some research back then and seemed like, oh, kind of a video game. I kind of like that. I think that might be engaging for me, and it is. I mean, the end of the day, you're still riding in a cartoon, but you know, the scenery changes, the quality of the ride from a simulation of riding on the road is very, very, very good. The smart trainers and the software that they use is pretty good, and it's getting better all the time. So that's get over to the right side of the road. The Zwift Play controllers also have steering. And go left over to the middle line, won't let you go past that, and then go right. It won't let me ride off into the cliff, but you can steer. All right, segment 19. Not a lot of people near me on the Alp today. So, scenery-wise, this isn't anything like what you would see on the real Alpe du Zwift in France, or Alpe d'Huez in France, but from a road, incline, elevation, and where the grade changes, they claim it's pretty much spot on to the actual road. So from a physics standpoint, and what it feels like to pedal up Alpe d'Huez on a bike, they converted that to trying to get as much of a feeling as that in real life to in a cartoon. So I will give Zwift that credit there. The scenery's quite a bit different. I think it's kind of a cross between, I don't know, the Canadian Rockies and the Swiss Alps. Is kind of my take on it. And speaking of mountains, I'm wearing a jersey from a ride that is unfortunately no longer with us. This 3-state, 3-mountain century that ran for 30 years, 25, 30 years. Started in Chattanooga, or it started in Chattanooga, and you rode Tennessee, 2 mountains in Tennessee, I think. Then you cross over into Alabama, right in the northeast corner of Alabama, ride along Alabama for a while, then into Georgia, and then finish up back where you started. So you do 3 mountains and 3 states in a century ride. And that was a fun ride. Did it for 4 years, I think, back in the day, from like 2007 to 2012 or something like that. Well supported ride. I think it met its fate like a lot of events did as a result of COVID-19 shutting it down. Those kind of events, they run on a really thin shoestring of a budget. Not a lot of room for error, and not a lot of money in the bank at the end of the day. So to have a year or two where you didn't have it, or participation was much lower, makes it a real challenge, because you've got to front a lot of money up, got to put a lot of money up front for some of the logistics, right? Safety, so volunteers, police, support, sheriffs, monitoring traffic control on intersections and roads, and got to have insurance for all the liability stuff. It's a challenge, but it was a fun ride. And I figured this jersey would be a good way to honor a mountainous century ride as I climb up one of the two iconic climbs in Zwift. Alpe du Zwift here, and the other one they have, if you're not familiar with it, is what they call Ven Top, and that's in Zwift's French world, and it's actually, once again, modeled after Mount Ventoux, and I've done that climb a couple times as well. So those are the two, I guess, epic climbs in Zwift. Probably the biggest elevation gain. Speaking of another one, I think in the far right, coming around to it, we're getting this little view up here. You'll see this tower on top of a mountain. I think that is the radio tower of QKOM. It's the radio tower climb, which is a really steep add-on to the epic KOM climb in Zwift. Yeah, up in the upper right-hand corner, probably getting hidden by, let's see, I can't see. All right, let's get, I'm talking too much. Let me get going here. What am I on? Sector 16. I'm on sector 15 now. Right above my head, you see sector stats. Sector 16, 133, 188 watts. So if I can maintain that, I'm on sector 15 now. I think that'll give me a new all-time PR. It won't be under an hour. That's the that's kind of the gold standard. You're gonna do Alpe du Zwift in an hour or less, or under an hour. That's something to put on your cycling in a cartoon resume, because it generally equates to about 3 watts per kilogram of power required to do that. You can see on the lower right, I'm about 2.6 to 2.8, 2.9. 3 watts for me would be about pretty close here. 215 or so would be about 3 watts per me. I'm at basically 77 kilograms right now in weight. So let's see. Anybody is okay. So I'm in virtual gear 9 on the Zwift Hub. In the bomb. The Zwift Hub auto calibrates, so when you get on and you connect it to the game, the first few seconds of, I think it's the first 10 seconds of riding, it calculates what your trainer is doing, and then calibrates to give you an accurate power output. And then they give you 24 gears. So I haven't had to go below gear 3, and that was on the top part of the epic, or the radio tower climb. And I haven't gone above 18, I think. And that was going down that climb, seeing how fast I could pedal and how fast I could go. So there's a broad range of virtual gears, which is pretty cool. Oh, there's a mountain goat on the left there. On the right, looks like some of the mountain goats you see in Colorado. Ever gone in the Rockies there? We have to see lots of mountain goats along the road. Okay, sector 15, done. 133, 197. So, seem to be doing okay here. Got 1,053 feet climbed. 1/3 of the way there to get the TRON bike. So, it'll be interesting to see how close to the finish line of the climb I unlock the TRON bike. I'm hoping I think I calculated correctly. We'll find out. Be a major wah, wah, wah if I don't. But yeah, I could always go partway down the climb and back up to get it. But I think I should unlock the TRON bike probably within the last few hundred meters of the climb is what I think. So we shall see. I didn't want to cut it too close. I'm going to give myself about 100 feet or so just in case I miscalculated. But I think I'm got it pretty dialed in here. Okay. After 15, getting close to knocking out 14 around this turn. Heart rate 138, 200 watts. $14, 136, 207 watts. So let's see. It's about an 8% grade now. See if I can maintain closer to 200 than not. That should get me a good PR. Then it means I've got to beat that PR, right? That's the challenge. That's why I've always tried to keep myself motivated, is to just do as best I can and then try to better that. And what I've found over the years, like I said, I've been running and endurance exercise since 1980. So 43 years at this point, going on 44. What I've learned over all those years is you can only do what you can do. It's nice to compete against other people, but if they're so far ahead of you or so far behind you, you'll either never be able to catch them or be way ahead of them. So do the best you can, train, and try to improve yourself on a consistent basis. And if you do that over the long run, you're going to be, I think, finding yourself inching up in the rankings, however you're measuring yourself. You know, I'm probably more fit now for climbing Alpe du Zwift than I was 2 months ago. Doesn't mean I'm going to catch, you know, Chris Froome or Marco Pantani. Of course, he was doping quite a bit. But any of the greats, but I am closer, a smidge, than I was before. So I've gotten better against the best ever. But more importantly, I guess, or more realistically, is I'm moving up the ranking of old guys that are riding Alpe du Zwift or other endurance. You know, so 50 to 60-year-olds. And in 2024, I'm going to turn 60, so I'll be in a new age group. But you know, you kind of figure out where you are, come up with a plan to improve it as little as you can. What any improvement is improvement. And then test yourself again, however that is. Be riding up Alpe du Zwift, be an actual bike race, could be a running race, rowing, hiking, walking, whatever it is. Test yourself from time to time and see where you are. Measure that result against the previous result and do what you can to improve. Or as you get later into life, there's going to come a point where what you're going to be trying to do is to hang on to what you have for as long as possible. 13% grade down to 7 gear. So back to 10 and 9. Go up a gear. So that's what I've always tried to do, especially in the last 5 years or so. Up through 40s, early 50s, you can really, I think, especially in endurance sports, longer endurance, so things like longer rides, 10Ks, half marathons, ultras, if you're into that, I think you can objectively improve probably through your early 50s. There's more and more people doing that every day, which is cool. But sooner or later, you're not going to be setting the world on fire, but you can stay on fire as long as possible. And that's my goal. I'll be improving on Zwift and that type of thing probably for a few more years, but that's because my focus hasn't been on this for very long, especially in the recent past. I was doing a lot of road cycling about 1999 through 2014 and got away from it because in my mind it was just getting too dangerous, especially starting out from our house or close by. Traffic just increased too much, and for me to get a good workout in, that's 2 to 3 hours probably, and to drive to an area where it was better, add an extra hour there, before you know it 5 or 6 hours are gone. That was tough to justify. Still got some buddies that are riding outside, and in the last 5 or 6 years, all of them have either been knocked off the bike or had too close for comfort as far as getting brushed, that type of thing. I'm just not I'm not willing to do that. Car versus bike, heck, even motorcycle versus bike. Motorcycle or car wins every time. Guy on bike, person on bike loses every time. And I'm just not willing to put myself in that position right now. I'd like to get back into biking, but we're going to need to change our locale or available time. It's going to need to change in order for that to happen. Until then, I can maintain a really high level of fitness doing Zwift, rowing, and running. So kind of a mix. But back when I was cycling 5,000-6,000 miles a year, almost all of it outdoors, I was pretty fit. I was in my late 30s to almost 50 at that point, and I was pretty fit. I could keep pace with most of the faster group rides. I was never a racer. Never had that punchy ability like you get in like Criterium or that type of thing. But I always enjoyed climbing because that was a consistent effort. I could just meter out my power on a consistent basis and do it. So that might be why I enjoy going uphill on Zwift. Kind of like it in real life but every once in a while, really give it a hard effort. Most of the time for me now is a consistent zone 2 and do at least one high aerobic capacity specific workout each week. So VO2 max, threshold, that type of thing, where the heart rate is going, you know, in the 150s, 160s for a little bit. Okay, sector 12. Finish that. 133, 189. So moving along, little map on the right, opposite of me, kind of gives a zigzag, and as I complete each sector, get a little gold star. So coming up on sector 11. I think halfway, just about, is sector 10. So we'll see. I don't know how this equates. It's been so long since I've really pushed it to any extent up the Alp. We'll see how the time comes out. But it's definitely an effort. Where am I at? 32. Okay. I'm just looking at the live stream on YouTube, and you're about 12 seconds behind what I'm seeing on. I'm using OBS to stream. Mainly because it's free. It doesn't cost me anything from the basic setup. I may start doing more live streams. I'm gonna have to think about that. See how time allows here in 2024. And if I can come up with something that seems to work, and come up with an actual plan, kind of a content plan. Let's see if I do that. But I've used StreamYard and whatnot in the past. They're free plans, but I just figured I'd try OBS. Seems to be working. We'll find out. It looks like it's working. I've got a screen or a window open with the live stream going, and there I am, 15 seconds behind. Although you wouldn't know if you're watching it live. So coming up on 10. I don't know. It might not be a PR tonight, folks. It might just be what it is. I thought it was 107.55. I'm at 34 now. I don't know. We'll see. I'm getting that TRON bike. 1,400 feet to go. Still can't, not guaranteed though. I could just drop dead right here, fall off my bike, have a major mechanical. The Zwift Hub fails, computer blows up. Anything could happen. Stay tuned. Getting a little steeper here. 11%. All right. Well, It's not picking up anymore. So I have to move my guy over and see where I'm at. Okay, trying to stand up a little bit. Switch it up a little bit. Get the muscle views. Need to be doing that a little bit more. Do it a little more consistently here. All right, time for Yeti chocolate milk. All right. Be over 2,000 feet of climbing here pretty soon. Oh, there's somebody up ahead. Looks like they're on a TRON bike. Let's see. It's blinking. Use that right on button on the Zwift Play. Kind of a neat thing. And people pass me going uphill. A few more people here. It's, what is it? Midnight in Europe. I can figure most of the riders, Zwifters from Europe are probably asleep at this point. They should be picking up people on the East Coast and back through the West Coast. People finish up the day, get their evening workout in. Ah, okay. Sector 9. Oh, there's a Yeti. Yep, this person's on the TRON bike. Looks like they're doing the workout. You can tell somebody's doing a workout because they get that little screen in front of their avatar. He's got that green screen where he's doing a workout on Alpe du Zwift. So it's a structured ride instead of it's kind of a free ride that I'm doing here. All right. Down in single digits of sections to go. That's good. There's 2,000 feet. Virtual climbing. $190, 200 watts, 143. Not too bad. I'm working hard. Not at the limit, but definitely a workout. This is gonna have to go easy tomorrow. Maybe part of the Saturday too. Do some miles on Zwift and probably going for a little run or ruck tomorrow. Must be nice here in the Atlanta area. That'll be a good thing to do after this. Do a little ruck in the morning or afternoon. That's another activity that I've really embraced here this last year, 2023. Rucking, walking with weight on your back. A good way to do some strength endurance and build the hips and glutes and quads is to put a pack on your back and add some weight. Go for a walk. Good weight bearing exercise, and depending where you are in building your fitness, a ruck, you're walking at a good pace with a little bit of weight on your back. You might be able to get a very good Zone 2 workout here. Now, my wife really enjoys rucking. She started off with 10 pounds in the pack. Now she's up to 20, 25 pounds after doing for just about a year. 9 months. She started in March and doing a good job. She's on the weekends especially, she'll go out and do from a 2 to 5 mile walk with a pack on her back. All right, that's your 8th. 2,100 feet. We're above the tree line here in Watopia. Thin air. Time to stand up again. But I'm really enjoying rucking. I've got a buddy that we go out on Sunday morning and do a ruck anywhere from 4 to 6 miles. And we walk 3.5 to 4 miles an hour, depending on the conversation and the terrain. Fortunately, around here in our little neck of the woods in the Atlanta metro, we've got sidewalks almost everywhere, so it makes it nice for walking, running, jogging, whatever. You have a dedicated path, sidewalk. The disadvantage is that all the sidewalks are concrete, which when you're running you wouldn't think so, but it makes a difference on the pounding your body takes running on asphalt versus concrete. But walking, not that bad. Running is really, can be hard on the body and the joints. And I ran for 40 years almost with not really any injuries. The last couple of years, I've gotten a couple injuries from running, and it's just related to a couple of things. I'm getting older. I just have to give the body more time for recovery, but also more time warming up, getting the body ready for activity, and then tending to the body after the activity. So I've really embraced kind of that pre-hab function or focus the last couple years, really this last year for sure. Just a constant built into pretty much every day, doing something to increase mobility on the body. So on the days I'm not running or working out per se, I try to do some sort of range of motion building activity, or yoga, stretching, to keep especially the lower body, the hips, knees, and the ankles, keep them as mobile, flexible, and strong as possible. And it's paying dividends, but something I never really thought about or didn't think about because I never had any issues, but have to pay attention. The earlier the better. I'd have been better off paying attention to that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and 2 years ago. But can't fix the past, but I can change the future. And doing that mobility work is definitely helping. And adding in specific strengthening exercises for the muscles and tendons and ligaments around those joints. Something to really focus on. You don't want to be immobile as you're old. That's kind of not a good result, not a good outcome. Anything you can do to keep mobile and flexible, the better. So now before pretty much any workout, especially if I'm going to run, where there's that high impact, I'm doing a lot of activation of the muscles and joints that I'm going to be using. And I take my time before I start running. So I may spend 5-10 minutes doing some active stretching, leg swings, body weight squats, range of motion, get the muscles activated, and then spend the first 5 or 10 minutes before I actually run just walking, just getting used to the motion, and then ease into the run. And do the same thing at the end. Walk at the end, and then stretch afterwards. That's when you can do some of that longer hold stretching yoga. It seems to really be helping. Okay, let's get these watts going. I'm yapping. 2,400 feet. Yeah, heart rate's still there, though. 137, 138. It'll be a solid effort, not a max effort, but a good solid effort. So I'll post in the description to this after I'm done a couple of links to things you may find useful. One is a book I've been reading, started reading here just a few weeks ago actually, but it's kind of follow-up to an app I found that focuses on kind of yoga or stretching. It really focuses on kind of the deep tissue stuff, so ligaments, joints, tendons. It's called, I think the style of yoga is called Yin Yoga, and based on specific poses, but designed to hold those poses anywhere from 1 to 3 to 5 minutes, some of them even longer, and that's really helped. So I'll post a link to an app called Pliability that I used for a couple months, and then this book that I found that talks specifically about the type of routine behind that, which is Yin Yin Yoga. I'll post a link to the book down there. All right, up into the snow tunnel. This reminds me of Trail Ridge Road in the spring. Those of you ever been out in Colorado, you go up on Trail Ridge Road above, go through Estes Park, up into Rocky Mountain National Park. You go up in the spring, right after they open up the road, most years, you'll see a tunnel of snow on either side. So, it's kind of what it looks like. And California too, up in the Sierra Nevada. Been in both places in the winter, driven in both places in blizzard conditions where I shouldn't have been driving, but I did anyway. One of the more interesting experiences, for sure. But we're getting up here on the cartoon Alp. All right, I don't know how much time I got left. 15 minutes maybe. 2,500 feet climbed. I should have about 900 feet to go to get the TRON unlocked, and maybe 1,000 to go to reach the top. All right, 6. 5 more to go. And we're an hour and 12 into this thing, with me talking at the front. Oh, another rider coming up. A couple of here. Give him a ride on. Yeah, the Zwift Play has a button on it labeled Z. And if you push that button when you're around riders that you haven't given a ride on to, it gives them a ride on. So instead of having to pull up each user independently and do it, you can do a ride on bomb. There you go. Yeah, mostly US riders, it seems like, from the flags, people here in the Western Hemisphere. All right, let's see, 2 miles to go, basically. Yep, 2 miles. Another pitch here. If we get into 12. Yep. So definitely recommend, if you're thinking of getting your first smart trainer and getting into Zwift or Trainer Road or any of the other virtual cycling apps, you want a smart trainer. And if you're going to do on Zwift, I'd highly recommend you look at the Zwift Hub 1. Is it the most expensive trainer? No. One of the least expensive. And that's what's good about it, because relatively low cost of entry, all things considered. It's got plenty of features for a regular person that's wanting to build their fitness using something like Zwift. Works very seamlessly with the game. The virtual shifting is instant. It's quieter than a traditional cassette. You're not going up and down the cassette. Everything stays in one place. And you buy it and you get 1 year of Zwift membership included. Now the virtual shifting right now only works on Zwift for now. I bet other platforms will integrate it. Trying to give that guy a ride on, Mr. Swandale. All right, 1.8 miles to go. Let's see. I think I will get a PR. We'll see. I've got 11 minutes and 55 seconds to go to do 1.7 miles. I don't know. We'll see. The legs are getting tired though. I did a short ride today with my wife. Hooked up both trainers, the Zwift Hub 1 to the computer, and my bike on that trainer to the Zwift app on my tablet. And it works. Zwift is very platform friendly. Now the computer I have gives much more detailed graphics. You wouldn't see this level of detail if I was streaming this from a tablet, but I kind of geeked out and bought a basic machine with a graphics card that works really good with Zwift. A few $100. But if you're going to be riding Zwift quite a bit. But on the tablet, you're in a video game, and the graphics are good enough. You get all the basic information. Know where you're at. But anyway, I was able to do that and ride with my wife. Just created a meetup between the two of us, and they have a neat option where you can have the meetup where everybody stays together. So works great for two of us because my wife is much shorter than me, and our fitness levels are completely different. She's still pretty fit for her age, but she couldn't maintain this level of power for her. She's smaller. But we were able to create that ride together. I was able to ride at a comfortable pace for me, which is about 150 to 160 watts. She's able to ride at a comfortable pace for her, which was much lower in terms of watts, but we stayed together in the game. So, nice feature. All right, 1.5 miles. No, I'm definitely not going to do it in an hour. Up to Zwift. We've got 1 minute to go, 1.4 miles. Or can I do it in 8 minutes? Huh, we'll see. I'm cranking up the power here a little bit. Heart rate up. Okay. Okay. So, sector 3, I've got a monitor down here I'm watching. Sector 4 was the one I last finished. 145 heart rate, 200 watts. I'm on sector 3, average of 197, 144. And You're down. Sector 3 is a long one. Yeah. 2,900 feet of climbing. Oh, I almost forgot. Should have said this at the beginning, but I created a club on Zwift. Club is Life Maximus. So if you're on Zwift and you want to join a club, I'd love to have you as part of Life Maximus. You're looking at the founding member and the only member at this point. Created the club last night, but it'd be neat if we can get anybody that's watching this channel that's on Zwift to join that club, and then you can do chat type of thing. So leave me some messages in the club chat, Life Maximus Club on Zwift, if you want to join. I'd be interested in doing some group rides, set up group rides. So, days and times that work for you best, let me know. Obviously, there's probably people from all time zones, a lot of time zones, that could potentially join the club. We'll see if we can find something that works. Oh, here's a TRON guy again. But yeah, Life Maximus Club on Zwift. If you want to join, I'd love to have you as a member. Maybe we can do schedule zone 2 rides, workouts, that type of thing. It'd be kind of neat. Something different, something to do. So, theoretically, this bike and wheel combination that I have in Zwift, I think, is actually faster uphill than the TRON bike. I'm not sure, but I think I'm pretty close. But obviously, the engine on that TRON bike ahead of me is is faster than me. I think he's doing 3.2, 3.6. I'm at 2.7, 2.8. So he's all right. Sector 3 was 144 and 196. Got 1 mile to go. I'm gonna do it in 7 minutes. And I don't know. We'll see. But more importantly, TRON bike should be coming up here. Pretty soon. So yeah, the Zwift Life Maximus Club. Anybody wants to join can join. No matter your ability, experience, fitness, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're working to improve your fitness. That's the important thing. And I'd love to have you as part of that group. We can do some rides in Zwift. And get fit together. Kind of extend the community out. Small community that we have here to the world of Zwift. I think that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a PR or not. Probably not. I guess I spoke too early. It's okay. I'm going to blame it on all the talking. Got to come up with an excuse, right? But Yep, under construction. This will be a 90-day PR. Maybe I can come back in a month or so. Push myself, see what we get. More chocolate milk. And a little more water. Okay. All right. Right on. I am 10% grade here. Hopefully, I get the TRON bike within sight of the finish. I don't know. Half a mile. I'm up to the last switchback. All right. 200 feet to go. Half a mile. All right. And then close. TRON bike. There we go. Yeah, that's it. Oh, okay. Mount Everest challenge. Woohoo! That's all I get. Ah. I guess I do get to finish the climb. Oh, at the top of the climb, there's like the wheel of fortune, I guess. And you come across little prize wheel spins, and most of the time you get it like with some gloves, but every once in a while you get the lightweight Meilenstein wheels, which are the lightest wheels you can get on Zwift. You can only get them by winning the prize wheel at the top. So this will be my 5th time up the Zwift. I've gotten, I think, gloves every time. So hopefully karma is in my favor tonight, and I get the wheels. I deserve them, right? Happy holidays to me. Merry Christmas to me. Don't give me a lump of coal, Zwift. see if I get the wheels. Two-tenths of a mile to go. Ooh. Yeah, legs are feeling it. Taking some potassium here tonight, that's for sure. Myself a banana or an avocado for dinner. Less than 1,000 feet. All right. All right, prize wheel. Give me something good. Now, good thing is, I'll get like an extra 8 miles on the ride without doing anything. I just coast downhill and rack up the miles. And I guess the super lightweight bike frame didn't help me. I guess whatever my time is with my other frame, I have 17 seconds to it, theoretically. All right, there's the finish. Prize wheel, spin. Ah! I got the gloves again. So you get level 30. Well, there you go. I'm an avid climber. That's for going up Zwift, Alpe du Zwift 5 times, I think. Yeah. Level 30, TRON Bike, avid climber award, and another pair of gloves. Which, think about it, why are there even gloves and helmets in Zwift? I'll leave you with this thought, deep thought. Why are there even gloves and helmets in Zwift? It's not like you're going to fall and hurt yourself. You can't crash. Why do you need a helmet? That's why I don't wear a helmet. I just wear old school orange Zwift headband. That's all I need in a cartoon. I don't need any gloves either. I'm not going to fall and rough my hands up. So I'm not wearing a helmet. Reckless. That's what I am. Reckless. All right. Well, got the TRON Bike. There's that. Level 30. I'm just going to keep Zwifting. It's a great workout. Whether you get a TRON Bike or not, or lightweight wheels or not, Zwift is a great way to get a good quality workout in. A good way to build that aerobic base with zone 2, and a good way to build out your top end aerobic capacity with those VO2 max workouts. Smart Trainer works great. If you're not on Zwift, think about it. I mean, if you got the ability to get a Smart Trainer, and you're looking for a way to maybe supplement your outdoor riding, you're riding outside, or maybe you want to ride bike, but it's just too much traffic and too dangerous to ride outside where you are. Yeah, take your bike and put it on a trainer, hook up the Zwift, and join the tens of, probably hundreds of thousands of people that are on Zwift. I think the most that's ever been on Zwift is like 43,000 at one time, and that was during the pandemic. But most of the time in the winter here, you'll see 20 to 30,000 people on Zwift on the evenings. So a lot of people use Zwift for all kinds of things. You can just ride. You can do some social riding. You can race. Very strong riders on Zwift. So check it out if you're not on it. And if you are on it, or you do get on Zwift, go ahead and join the Life Maximus Club. let's see if we can build a little community there, and do some rides and share our successes along the way. And that's it for me. I'm gonna coast down Alpe du Zwift here, get a cool down, and get some dinner, some food in me, relax a little bit, and get a good night's sleep. Recovery is important, that's for sure. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this. What is this? Hour and 36 minutes of writing in a cartoon and talking, but hope you got something out of it. Leave some comments down below. Anything you are doing, whether you're on Zwift or not, where are you on Zwift? Any plans or things? We never did get to what could happen in 2024. So leave a comment down below, kind of what your goals are for 2024. What do you want to work on? What are some ideas, some things you want to see me do either live streams on, where we can all participate together, or video on. Leave some ideas down there in the comments below. If you like what you're seeing here, give us a thumbs up. Help spread the word about what we're doing here at Life Maximus, and subscribe, become part of the community. Subscribe, love to have you as a part of the community here on YouTube. And like I said, join the Life Maximus Club in Zwift, and we'll see you there. All right, till the next one, be well.